September 7th, 1939. At the entrance of a fortified concrete bunker, Captain Władysław Raginis stood resolutely, gazing out at the horizon where German tanks advanced like a dark wave across the Polish countryside. With a heavy heart, he had just received the fateful order that would determine his destiny. To hold the fortified line at Wizna with a mere 700 troops against an overwhelming force of 42,000 German soldiers, the odds were insurmountable. Yet what was to follow would immortalize this quiet corner of Poland in history, a profound testament to a man who kept his sacred vow even unto death, earning his rightful place among history's most remarkable defenders. To grasp Raginis's unwavering resolve, we must first understand the world that forged him. Born on June 27, 1908, in the village of Zarin, near Dynburg, in present-day Latvia, Raginis was raised in a patriotic Polish landowning family. His formative years unfolded during a tumultuous period following World War I, when Poland emerged from 123 years of partition and sought to assert its sovereignty. From an early age, he absorbed the spirit of newfound freedom and an enduring sense of duty. Thus, a career in the military became a natural inclination. In 1927, he enrolled in the infantry officer school in Komaro and graduated in 1930. Although he was not particularly distinguished academically, his superiors recognized his composure, discipline, and quiet strength, qualities that would truly manifest in times of war. Raginis's early military career unfolded in the 76th Infantry Regiment stationed at Grodno, where he experienced an unremarkable routine of drills, training exercises, and mentoring cadets. However, beneath this veneer of normality lay an unshakable belief that a soldier's duty was not merely to survive, but to serve selflessly. By the time the summer of 1939 arrived, Raginis had ascended to the rank of captain in the elite Border Defense Corps, commanding a heavy machine gun company. As Europe teetered on the brink of cataclysm, Hitler's Germany, now fully rearmed and daring, pressed territorial demands upon Poland. The Polish government firmly refused to acquiesce. At dawn on September 1, 1939, the storm broke. An onslaught of 60 German divisions and 1.5 million men attacked from multiple fronts, unleashing blitzkrieg, a devastating new form of warfare characterized by rapid successive strikes that overwhelmed defenses before they could coalesce. Poland's small and outdated army fought valiantly, but quickly found itself overrun on every front. 2 days later, on September 2nd, Captain Raginis received his orders. His task was to defend the Wizna fortified line, a series of bunkers extending 9 kilometers between the Narew and Bibra rivers, serving as a crucial barrier to the road leading to central Poland. The fortifications were far from complete, their bunkers still undergoing construction, and supplies were woefully insufficient. However, the option of retreat did not exist. Raginis established his command post at Bunker GG-126, near the village of Gora Str Koła, strategically positioned in the heart of the line. From this vantage point, he could survey the entire battlefield and his imminent fate. Facing a colossal foe, Raginis's 700 men stood against General Heinz Guderian's 19th Panzer Corps, which comprised 350 tanks, 108 howitzers, and over 40,000 soldiers. The Poles had a scant number of artillery pieces, a handful of anti-tank rifles with just 20 rounds, along with an abundance of fierce determination. Among them were mostly reservists, farmers, and schoolteachers, some experienced veterans, others hardly trained. Yet every man understood the gravity of their stand against a rapidly expanding empire. By September 6th, the ground vibrated with the approaching thunder of Guderian's advancing columns. Raginis circulated among his troops, embodying calm and reassurance, assisting them in digging trenches, fortifying bunkers, and establishing fields of fire. Deep down, he understood that help would not arrive. The main Polish forces were engaged in desperate battles elsewhere. Nevertheless, he braced himself to hold firm. At dawn on September 7th, the horizon shimmered ominously with the reflection of German armor. German scouts advanced, only to be met by the disciplined and fierce fire of Polish machine guns. The Battle of Wizna had commenced. Guderian's forces attacked relentlessly in waves. Artillery thundered, raining down chaos on the Polish line as the ground quaked beneath the bombardment. Then came the infantry, advancing amidst clouds of smoke, only to be met with devastating fire bursting forth from concealed bunkers. Tanks attempted to navigate the treacherous marshy fields, but many became bogged down or were struck by anti-tank rifles. The defenders fought methodically, conserving ammunition while holding each position as tenaciously as they could. By the time night fell on the first day, the Germans had incurred hundreds of casualties, yet the Polish line remained resolute. That evening, inside the battered walls of bunker GG 1-6, Raginis assembled his officers. The air was heavy with dust and the sounds of artillery outside. It was within this charged atmosphere that Raginis and his lieutenant Brakowski made an unbreakable vow. They would hold the line to the last man, refusing to abandon their post alive. This was not mere bravado. It was a solemn pledge, a bond of faith and resistance. The following morning, Guderian, irate at the delays, unleashed a more ferocious bombardment. Shells of various calibers battered the remaining bunkers, reducing many to rubble. Yet some strongholds continued to withstand the assault, their machine guns defiantly returning fire. When German infantry attacked once more, they were met with fierce, unyielding resistance. The field surrounding Wizna became a graveyard of gray uniforms, yet the noose continued to tighten around the defenders. By midday, German tanks began to navigate narrow paths through the marshes as dive bombers, the infamous Stukas, roared overhead, dropping their payloads with alarming precision. The explosions obliterated entire bunkers, sending shockwaves through the air, mingling dust with the acrid scent of blood. Yet the Polish defense remained undeterred. Despite being wounded by shrapnel, Raginis traversed the trenches, blood staining his face, and yet maintaining a steady voice. He redistributed ammunition, provided comfort to the wounded, and instilled resolve in his men through his very presence. Whenever a position faltered, he was there, calm, composed, and unyielding. By the evening of September 8th, Wizna lay in ruins. Communication lines had been severed, and many bunkers lay shattered. However, from the remaining positions, sporadic gunfire continued to erupt into the night. The defenders had inflicted devastating losses on their adversaries, but their supplies were dwindling. Food, water, and ammunition were nearly exhausted. As night descended, Raginis conducted a final inspection. In half-collapsed bunkers, injured soldiers whispered of home and of families they feared they might never see again, yet none spoke of surrender. Dawn on September 9th heralded the last assault. Guderian concentrated the full might of his artillery on the remaining strongholds. The bombardment was deafening, transforming the hilltop of Gora Strakowa into a desolate wasteland of craters. When the barrage finally lifted, German infantry advanced with caution, anticipating resistance, and still found it. From the two remaining bunkers, machine guns blazed forth. The Polish defense had dwindled to perhaps 30 men, yet they fought with the conviction that the fate of their nation rested in their hands. Then came the ultimatum. Under a flag of truce, German messengers delivered Guderian's menacing threat. If the last bunkers did not surrender, all previously captured Polish prisoners would be executed. It was a harrowing choice: honor or mercy. Within the ravaged bunker, Raginis remained silent as he absorbed the gravity of the situation, while his men awaited his response. He had sworn an oath to die at his post, yet now hundreds of lives hinged upon his decision. After a prolonged pause, Raginis made his choice. He commanded his men to lay down their arms and surrender, but he would not renounce his vow. Calmly, he expressed his gratitude to his troops for their extraordinary bravery and assured them they had fulfilled their duty. As they evacuated the bunker, he remained behind, steadfast in his conviction. Moments later, a solitary explosion reverberated through the hills, marking the demise of Captain Władysław Raginis as he fulfilled his promise to the very end. The Battle of Wizna was concluded. For 3 grueling days, 700 Polish defenders had resisted the onslaught of 42,000 German soldiers, destroying tanks, delaying Guderian's advance, and proving that courage can withstand even the most overwhelming power. German accounts later confirmed the staggering losses incurred by their forces. Thanks to Raginis' stand, Polish forces further south gained the time needed to regroup, a small yet crucial contribution that came at a dreadful cost. When German officers surveyed the battlefield, they discovered Raginis' lifeless body amidst the ruins of his bunker. Even Guderian, the strategist behind Blitzkrieg, reportedly commanded his burial with military honors, a notable expression of respect from a conqueror toward his vanquished foe. For decades, the saga of Wizna faded into relative obscurity, overshadowed by the myriad tragedies that ensued. Yet among those who remember, Captain Władysław Raginis stands as Poland's Leonidas, a powerful symbol of defiance, honor, and self-sacrifice. His name is etched into the monument that now graces Góra Strekowa, overlooking the same fields where he and his men once bravely stood against the tidal wave of oppression. Raginis's fight was not for victory. It was a struggle driven by an unwavering sense of duty, a reminder that at pivotal moments in history, the act of resistance itself can become a victory. Thus, as we commemorate the events at Wizna, we reflect not merely on a lost battle, but on a profound triumph of the human spirit, a powerful testament that courage, even when surrounded by darkness, can still resonate through eternity. Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to support our work and never miss an upload. Like this video, leave a comment, and share it with others to show your support and help us cultivate this historical community.